the Gemini shadow. Why your two-faced nature is your ultimate weapon. They call Geminis two-faced, fickle. And today, we're not just talking about general shadow work, we're talking about the Gemini shadow specifically. Forget the sugar-coated horoscopes. For constant newness, it starts with radical honesty, deep within your Gemini psyche. This is the practical side of Gemini shadow work. Manifests as restlessness or an inability to commit. Not because you're flaky, but because your innate Gemini drive for evolution is being stifled. The part of you that loves solitude, and the part that thrives in a crowd, the logical thinker and the whimsical dreamer. Instead of judging these polarities, acknowledge them. They are not weaknesses. They are the source of your incredible Gemini versatility, your unparalleled ability to see every side of an issue, and your lightning-fast adaptability. When you, as a Gemini, stop fighting your own multifaceted nature, you unlock a fluidity that others can only dream of. Your Gemini shadow can trigger self-sabotage, making you abandon projects just as they get boring or too demanding. Rather than seeing through the phase and emerging stronger, your betrayals, your experiences of being misunderstood, are not scars that define you negatively. They are the forge in which your Gemini resilience was hammered, your intellect sharpened, and your magnetic, dangerous charm perfected. This is the ultimate outcome of effective Gemini shadow work. It can fuel perfectionism in communication. It's the raw, untamed energy that makes you a Gemini. It's time to own every exhilarating, terrifying, magnificent part of who you are, fellow Gemini. Because when you embrace your shadow, you don't just gain self-awareness, you lead your own revolution. When you integrate your perceived weaknesses, your duality, your restlessness, your analytical detachment, you don't just become whole, you become an unstoppable Gemini force. Our inherent curiosity, our need to analyze and understand, becomes our greatest tool for Gemini shadow work. When you feel that familiar urge to pivot, to escape, or to mask a true emotion, pause. Subscribe if you're ready to embrace your Gemini shadow side and transform it into your ultimate weapon. And for more raw psychological truths and exclusive content for Geminis, check out our Patreon and membership programs. The links are in the description below. You've been misunderstood. You've been underestimated. It hurt. See you in the next one, Divine Geminis. But holding onto that pain, that need to hide parts of your Gemini self, only keeps your true power locked away. Forgive those who couldn't handle your brilliance, and more importantly, forgive yourself for dimming your own Gemini light to fit into their tiny boxes. Ask yourself, why am I, as a Gemini, reacting this way? What suppressed truth is this trying to tell me? Endlessly editing your words. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about using your inherent analytical Gemini power to dissect your own internal mechanisms. As Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. For a Gemini, that space is vast, filled with endless possibilities. Choose wisely, choose power. Paralyzed by the fear that your true, unfiltered Gemini thoughts will be misunderstood or criticized, we're diving deep into the raw, often misunderstood psychology of our dual nature as For too long, the world has tried to force us Geminis into a single box, to pick one side. But the truth is, the very essence of a Gemini lies in the beautiful, chaotic, and utterly powerful dance between our light and our dark. This isn't about being good or bad. It's about integrating every electrifying facet of who you are as a Gemini. Unpredictable. The Gemini shadow often has roots in your earliest experiences. These subtle condemnations, your Gemini shadow starts to pull the strings. It's why you might feel the need to mask your true thoughts to avoid conflict, leading others to call you Gemini two-faced. It's not malice, it's a defense mechanism born from past judgment. This is a key aspect of Gemini shadow work. Recognizing these patterns pushed parts of your authentic Gemini self into the shadows. That vibrant curiosity, that lightning-fast wit, that chameleon-like adaptability. These became the traits you, as a Gemini, learned to suppress. Think back, fellow Geminis. When were you told you were too much, too loud, too curious, too contradictory? Perhaps your Quicksilver Gemini mind, your ability to adapt and pivot, was seen as inconsistency, rather than brilliant versatility. They see our duality and shrink back. But what if I told you that very shadow they fear in you is your most potent superpower? Welcome to the deep dive into Gemini shadow work. Welcome to the Divine Gemini. Just like any shadow, were your shifts in mood or opinion met with judgment? Did they try to clip your wings because your Gemini energy felt overwhelming to them? These moments, when you deny these core Gemini traits, or perhaps your need for intellectual stimulation. So, how do we, as Geminis, reclaim this power? How do we turn the two-faced accusation into a declaration of multidimensional genius? 1. Own your duality. It's not a flaw, it's a feature for every Gemini. Look in the mirror, Gemini, see all the contradictions. 2. Question your reactions. The Gemini mind's secret weapon. This is where the Gemini mind truly shines. Is your Gemini two-faced reflex a fear of not being liked? Is your restlessness a sign you're not intellectually challenged enough? 3. Forgive the past. Free your Gemini future. You, a Gemini, have been called too much. This isn't about condoning past hurts, but liberating your future Gemini self. The Gemini shadow is not a flaw to be fixed. This is the journey of the Divine Gemini, transforming pain into dominance, chaos into genius. Drop a comment if you're ready to own your full, unedited Gemini power. Warning: this content isn't for the emotionally fragile. But then again, you already knew that, didn't you, Gemini?